जय बोलो हनुमान की। श्री रामचंद्र प्रभु की जय, हनुमान जी की जय।
Gently close your eyes. Keep your back and neck in straight line. Adopt your mudra. Feel the vibrations of chanting. Observe your breathing. Observe every inhalation and every exhalation. Relax your whole body. Relax your mind. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your thoughts. With every inhalation, feel the positivity. With every exhalation, expel all the negativity present within you. Observe the beautiful sounds of nature. Calm down your mind. Slow down your thoughts. With this calm state of mind, let's move on to the next round of Maitrimila Gita chanting with 3 rounds of Omkara. Inhale deeply. Gently open your eyes. Jnana Yoga Shloka Sangraha, Dhyana Shloka. Repeat after me. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam.
Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam.
Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. Vyasena
ग्रथितां
Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam
Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Ambatvamanusandhatami Bhagavad-gite
Bhavadveshini
अथ
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु ज्ञानयोगश्लोकसङ्ग्रहः
अर्जुन उवाच अहो बत महत्पापम् कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयम् यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यते पापेभ्यः
अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः
सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः
सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः
सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव
सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव
रुजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि
रुचिरं सन्तरिष्यसि
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यम्
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं
य एनमजमव्ययम्
य एनमजमव्ययम्
कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ
कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ
गन्धादयति हन्तिकम्
कं घादयति हन्तिकम्
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं दहति पावकः
नैनं दहति पावकः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न शोषयति मारुतः
न शोषयति मारुतः
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम्
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम्
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः
नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः
अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अचलोऽयं सनातनः
त्रैगुण्यविषया वेदाः
त्रैगुण्यविषया वेदाः
निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन
निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन
निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः
निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः
निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्
निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्
प्रजहाति यदा कामान्
प्रजहाति यदा कामान्
सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान्
सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान्
आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः
आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः
स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते
स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः
सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते
सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः
कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते
कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः
क्रोधात् भवति
सम्मोहः
सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः
सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः
स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः
स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः
बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति
बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति
रागद्वेषवियुक्तैस्तु
रागद्वेषयुक्तैस्तु
विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन्
विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन्
आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा
आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा
प्रसादमधिगच्छति
प्रसादमधिगच्छति
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः
सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः
सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः
वीतरागभयक्रोधः
वीतरागभयक्रोधः
स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते
स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां
हानिरस्योपजायते
हानिरस्योपजायते
प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु
प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु
बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते
बुद्धिपर्यवतिष्ठते
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम्
तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम्
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
या निशा सर्वभूतानां
या निशा सर्वभूतानां
तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी
तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी
यस्यां जागृति भूतानि
यस्यां जागृति भूतानि
सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः
सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः
ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्मा
ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्मा
व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन्
व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन्
यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहम्
यः प्रयाति च सन्देहम्
स याति परमां गतिम्
स याति परमां गतिम्
श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानम्
श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानम्
तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः
तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः
ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम्
ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम्
अचिरेणाधिगच्छति
अचिरेणाधिगच्छति
एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ
एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ
नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति
नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति
स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि
स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि
ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति
ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति
ॐ तत्सदिति
ॐ तत्सदिति
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
उपनिषत्सु
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे
शास्त्रे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
ज्ञानयोग श्लोक संग्रहः
ज्ञानयोगश्लोकसङ्ग्रहः
हरिः ओम तत्सत्
हरिः ओम तत्सत्
श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। So today it was supposed to be Karma Yoga, but because of some reason I'll be taking Jnana Yoga and Vivi will take Karma Yoga next week. So far in Jnana Yoga we have come to a point where we are asking ourselves two questions. First question is whether I really lack something. And second question is, if I lack something and I think that something outside is going to fulfill that lack, is it going to really fulfill that lack? So we have come to a point where we analyzed and saw four important limitations of things which are there outside. Many are there, but four important limitations. First limitation is all things outside are anitya. If you are expecting anitya sukham means happiness, or anitya or temporary security, or temporary removal of limitation, no problem. But what we do is that which can only temporarily give you the feeling of being happy, the feeling of being secure, you depend on it permanently. How do we know? We saw yesterday. We know relationships are not permanent. Still, we depend so much psychologically on the relationship that if the relationship goes away, you are broken. We are broken. There is depression. There is psychological problem. And you are not functional. You are not able to do what you want to do next. Take the recent case of example of Olympic gold medal. Okay, there can be any reason, whether it is fair, unfair, we are not talking about that aspect. We are only talking about the aspect how it affects the person. So the person is a sportsman first, and the person is competing in Olympic gold medal. Which is more permanent? Being a sportsman is more permanent, or being an Olympic gold medalist is more permanent? Sportsman. But the person forgot. The person made a statement just because of this event, which was not in her hands, of course. Not everything was in her hands. She tried her best, but what happened? She said, I am going to drop wrestling itself. Correct? So, you can see, though you understand, the person was never a wrestler also. Really speaking, the person was just a person. The person became a wrestler. But when the time came just to give up that ahankara, that I have to be a medalist, that itself was very difficult. Forget about talking about I am not even a wrestler. So you can see, whatever you are acquiring at some point in time, it is going to be going away. So anityam. Even the title of wrestler will go away, because today the person is wrestler. How many years the person remains wrestler? Sachin Tendulkar once was well known as god of cricket, but right now retired. You can't retain the status of being god of cricket permanently. So we are seeking permanency in something which is impermanent by nature. First problem. First limitation. Okay. Second, I said there is no problem if you are seeking permanency. No problem. impermanency. You are seeking permanency. And that you can find out through our psychological problems which we have if we don't get what we want. It can be as simple as asana. Yesterday I said, I gave another example, latest example of the wrestling that happened in Olympics. Second, we take the same example, let us see what is the second limitation. The second limitation is dukkha mishra. We have seen anything, any status to be God. To get also, you have to put in lot of effort and there is pain involved. A person wants to eat ice cream. I am just giving an example. But because the person is competing in Olympic, the person cannot eat ice cream because there is strict diet. Right? So there is giving up, there is suffering, there is pain to achieve something. Okay. Now, all this to go through is very good, provided you are looking at it objectively. So then, second is what? After you get the title, let us assume the person has got the title that you are a gold medalist. To retain that this person is a very good wrestler, to retain that status, the person has to put in lot of effort or not? It's not just the person. It is people around the person also has to put in lot of effort or not? And there is lot of anxiety, there is lot of pain, there is anxiety throughout. Anxiety is there. The person is anxious whether I am going to win or not. The person wins in spite of anxiety, that is different. But anxiety is always there. Pain is always there. Suffering is always there. And of course, when the status goes away, many people say, even as a teacher, I have heard, many people say, when in my time, I was teaching like this, students used to come to me, so they recollect that to be happy. So can you see that you're recollecting something? Recollecting something is fine, but I have seen people who are into it. So every time you start a dialogue with them, they will say, when I was a teacher in 1921 or 1950, this shows the person is going back in memory lane to gain or derive that happiness. So giving away, physically you can retire. Physically you can say, okay, I retire from work. Physically, a lady, if she is a homemaker, can say, I retire from homemaking. You can retire physically, but mental retirement is difficult. And mentally giving up something is really difficult. You may say so, and you will find out after something has gone past, how much you dwell upon it will show how much you are attached to it. Therefore, there is effort and pain in dropping it also. Effort and pain in attaining it, effort and pain in maintaining it, effort and pain in dropping it. And the third important characteristic or the limitation that you see in anything that is outside is it creates bondage. It does not create bondage actually. We get bound to it. Why we get bound to it? We have seen yesterday, because it is temporary, but we think it will give me something that is permanent, and therefore I cannot leave it. I am bound. So if I have to go out somewhere, I cannot, or if I have to enjoy something, I cannot because I am bound to it. That goal is going to give me what I want. And therefore, I have to catch hold of it. If it comes, it is good. So I am completely attached to it. If it goes away from me, I am not feeling secure. I am very insecure. Like a child. If you look at a child, you give a small finger, the index finger, you give it to the child. Child will hold very tight, because insecurity. Similarly, we have that insecurity feeling. If I am not a wrestler, what should I do? You were not a wrestler before also. You became a wrestler. Now, sometime after that, you are going to lose that status. What are you going to do? That insecurity sets in. Therefore, it brings in attachment. Actually, the status or the wrestler status is not telling you, hold on to me, hold on to me. Your person outside will never tell you, hold on to me, really speaking. So that person also wants to be free. So if I hold on to that person psychologically, really the problem is with me. So therefore, we hold on to it. And fourth problem that we face is atripti karatvam. We have Olympics. Olympics is the maximum now. Suppose you have intergalactic. Let us assume in future you are able to go to other planets, and other planets you have people, alien, and you have intergalactic competition. That will become your next target. There is no trupti. I am staying in atrupti. I am not happy at all. Why? Because again this limitation is there. Now my mind thinks how to remove this limitation. So therefore, again you go back to being dissatisfied. There is no complete satisfaction when you seek something from outside. This is the observation we have made. Then we came to see, okay, something outside can never give me a permanent peace, security and happiness because it has its limitations. Second, if my nature was being unhappy, I am unhappy by nature, I am insecure by nature. If that is my nature, nothing outside can change. Yesterday we had talked about it. If a salt is there, I rub sugar on it, it cannot become sweet. So if my nature is I am unhappy, nothing outside is going to give me happiness. Okay, so this one has to understand. Nothing can remove my limitation. Then, should we be comfortable or not? If it is my nature, I should be comfortable. But are we comfortable? No. I am not comfortable. The person was not comfortable getting lost in, was not comfortable. Why? The person was not comfortable because the person is still a seeker now in mind. The person is seeking a medal for the next Olympic, right? So she is seeking that medal, and therefore she is still a seeker in mind. Physically you can say I gave up wrestling, but the person is seeker in mind. So therefore the seeking does not stop, and I am uncomfortable. And how do I let it off? Becoming difficult. So therefore I am not comfortable. Therefore, question is it my nature? Now we come to the actual portion. What is my nature? We think we are this individual and we have this body, mind, sense complex. We are born, we are going to die. So all these are our thoughts, our understanding. Did anybody tell you this? No. Through experience, we are assuming and concluding that I am this limited body, I am this mind. And people who are Vaidika in nature, they understand that I am beyond this body, but they understand themselves as an individual. This individual will have this body now, next birth will happen, after this birth, next birth will happen, another body will be there. So you go from body to body. This is the understanding a person has. Question is, how do I know what is my real nature? How do I know? Why? Because there is an instrument of knowledge which is called Vedas, Shruti, otherwise called Shastra. Shastra means, it has two meanings. Shasanat trayate iti Shastra. Shasanat means what? Shasan has two meanings. Okay, so it does not know brushing teeth is brush your teeth. Then when the child grows, you will understand, yes, brushing teeth is important. Taking bath is important. In the same way, dharmam chara, satyam vada, they are all commands, they are all instructions. And those who are willing to come into the fold of Shastra take that instruction. And therefore, Shastra. And why does it protect you? By following the instruction, you are not going to get harmed. It is for your greater good. And therefore, Shastra is instructive. Nowadays, people don't want instruction. Why? Authority problem. Who is Shastra to tell? That is the problem. Therefore, the instruction is given initially. Then Shasana Trayate, the Shas, that has another meaning also, which means to teach. So therefore, Shastra is also going to teach. Once your mind is matured enough, the teaching will come. And what does Shastra tell? Shastra says, Tat Tvam Asi. Aham Brahma Asmi. Not Bhavishyati or Bhavishyami. Okay, Bhavishyami means in future tense. That I will become Brahman. Very clearly present tense. Asmi, I am. So Shastra is saying, you are that pure consciousness, which is the only reality that is present in the world. There is no future tense. Okay, it's very clearly now. So the question comes, I feel I am this chutku, 90 kilo, such a big earth is there, in that earth 90 kilo, one person is there, I am a female, I am a male, and then because of this female male there is a fight, all this is happening. So when all this is happening, we are feeling limited, and because of this, all these problems that are coming, Shastra is giving you the knowledge that you are actually limitless. In fact, the word Brahman itself means that you are limitless. You are the biggest entity that is available in the creation. And for this, an example can be like the dream. In the dream, you are the waker. The waker is projecting the dream. Don't you become many in the dream? You alone are having the dream world, right? You are just sleeping next to your spouse. Can your spouse see the dream world? No. It's just there inside you. The dream world gets created. Then the dream person gets created. Many dream people are there. And then you dream. Then there is nightmare. There are sweet dreams. You know, we say sweet dreams, have sweet dreams, nightmare. Everything comes from whom? From you alone. You, the waker alone, is projecting the dream. The dream world is projected, the dream individual is projected. And you take up one of the body, get identified with it, and you experience everything. Yes or no? When a tiger comes in a dream, you wake up with a startle, you have sweat or not? You are feeling. So therefore, just like Shastra is giving this example, just like in the dream world, you who is one appear to be many. Similarly, in the waking state also, you are that one Brahman. You means everybody can say, I am that Brahman, only one entity. And I alone appear as this world. This is what Shastra is trying to say. Now comes the question. That means what? I should feel full. Because everything is me. I should feel full. But I don't feel the fullness. I don't feel completely satisfied. I always have the lack. Now the question comes. I have the experience of having lack, but Shastra is telling me that you are full. How is it possible? Then there are counter experiences. There are certain counter experiences. I'm looking at the time because there is no watch here. So counter experiences that we have, what are the counter experiences? When we go to the seashore, just imagine, all of you all are going to a seashore, nice breeze is coming in the evening, let's say west coast, and the sun is setting. You are not supposed to see the sun setting according to Shastra, but nowadays we see it. So we see the sun setting. You see the sea and there is nothing you see on the other side. No land, infinite mass of water. Almost infinite you can say, because you can't see the other side. It is as good as infinite experience. When you see that water, at that point in time, let us assume all of us have some loans we have taken, some problem at house, father is doing this, mother is doing this, spouse is doing this, children are doing. We have a lot of problems, in-laws problem, all this. But when you see that sea, all this problem, does it occur to your mind? Every other time you want to change things, you know. My mother-in-law should be like this, my father-in-law should be like this, my spouse should be like this. Every time, every other time, no, I should now, have this loan closed. So every time you want to become somebody, but that point in time, you You are just what you are. Am I right? And how do you know that there is no seeking there? Because you accept things as it is. There is no insistence. This is how it should be. Do you say the sun, why is it setting in the west? It should actually set in the east. Do you say that? Anything in nature. When you go to a snow-clad mountain, do you say, how come only two colors are there, brown color, white color? Arey yaar, koi variety nahi hai. Do you say that? Or you just see? You just see. At that point in time, you are there, but your problems seem to have disappeared. So there are times when you do not feel the lack experientially. Only when you feel the lack will you seek. At that point in time, you are not seeking. Another example is, I think I gave this example in the first class. You see a 2-year-old baby smiling, only one teeth in front. It's just come. It's smiling. When you look at the baby's face, you forget everything or not? You forget everything. That itself shows you have to recollect many things to be unhappy. Really speaking, you have to recollect many things to be unhappy. So therefore, your experience itself shows what? It shows that there are times when I feel I am lacking. There are some times when I don't feel the lack. What is true? Which experience is true? Who is going to give me this knowledge? Which experience is going to be true? So, now comes the question. Can experience give knowledge? Many people say this, go into meditative state, it will give you knowledge. You have to look at that statement. You have the special experiences people have. A lot of people want that. In fact, one of my friends used to say, Chamatkara Shivai Namaskaran. Means what? If there is some kind of magic that you see, magic means what? A non-normal experience or mystical experience. Experience is experience that you see, and that experience is giving some knowledge. Question we have to ask is, does experience give really knowledge? Does all experience lead to knowledge? Okay, what is our experience? Sun is rising and sun is setting. What is the fact? Sun does not rise, sun does not set. In fact, it is the movement of the revolving of the earth around its own axis that is being superimposed on the sun. So there is really no movement on the part of the sun. It is the movement of the earth that is getting superimposed on the sun. This is the fact. But by experience we see sun rise and sunset or not. And there are contrary experiences. You go to the pole. We are here in tropical region. You go to the poles. 6 months there is no sunrise. 6 months there is no sunset. What is true? Otherwise, in a day also, 14-15 hours there is only sun. 5 hours or other 9 hours there is no sun. Or sometimes 20 hours there is sun. 5 hours there is no sun. Which is true? How do you know which experience is true? If experiences were to culminate into knowledge every time, that means reach and become knowledge every time, then my experience that sun is rising and sun is setting should be true. My experience that cloud is blue should be true. Is cloud blue in color? Or sky blue in color? So therefore, one has to start thinking. Experience does not always culminate to knowledge. Experience is required for knowledge, but does not get culminated into knowledge. And therefore now I have to look at an instrument of knowledge which will give me this knowledge. And that instrument of knowledge is Shruti or the Vedas. Why Shruti and Veda alone is the instrument of knowledge? There is a very big debate on that, and it has been established also. You go through various texts, there are texts like Vedanta, Paribhasha, etc., which talk about how Shruti alone is the pramanam for certain things, not everything. And one of the important thing is Aham Brahmasmi. Okay. So therefore now you understand the link between Jnanam and what we are facing. I should know my nature. Only if I know my nature, what I am doing becomes actually relevant. It is like that person who thinks that I am not rich, but when the person dies and they dig the ground where he was staying, they find a lot of wealth. So if you don't have the knowledge at all, then whatever you are doing is actually irrelevant only. And therefore knowledge becomes important. So Jnana Yoga, we have come to understand what is Jnanam. Jnanam is Swarupa Jnanam. What is my real nature? If I am secure by my nature, if I am secure, I don't require security from outside. If it is there, good. If it is not there, fine. With this understanding alone, a person lives and therefore is called Sthita Prajna. The person who is established. Knowledge becomes the basis for all our actions, emotions and thought process. The person, and my thought process and my emotion will be quite different. Yes or no? Think about Karna. Karna thought his mother was Radha. Just till before the war, when the war was going to happen, Krishna reveals that Kunti is Karna's mother. Knowledge has changed or not? Which is a fact. Krishna is Pramanam. Pramanam means he is the instrument of knowledge, and he has to be trusted because he is Ishvara and Karna trusts him. Knowledge changes, but I am not able to emotionally accept it. So for this I give some example. This one example I will give, and then we will complete this session. I have a friend of mine who always tells the truth. And I have known him for a long time. There is a passerby going on. Somebody who is totally not related to me, it is going on. And the person says, he is a thief. I say, okay. It's not possible at all. This is called emotional acceptance. And emotional acceptance becomes more and more difficult where there is bias. And the bias increases when something related to me is close to me. Something that is close to me. The more close it gets, the bias is more. That person I didn't bother at all because no relationship. But this person I bother because there is a closeness. And who is the closest to oneself? Can anybody tell? Who is the closest to oneself? Self. I am the closest. I love myself the best. Nobody else, really speaking. You may say, I love you. Really speaking, you love the other person because you love yourself. And therefore, it is the self. So the bias should be more or not. The closer it gets, the bias increases. And the bias increases, the acceptance also becomes difficult. Therefore, you require an instrument of knowledge for getting the knowledge, and you require a mind which is prepared to see what the instrument is showing. Like if I don't have the mind, I have the mind elsewhere. Even if I see the crow, I see the crow with my eyes, I give a blank stare. Don't we say? Don't give a blank stare. You are able to see the crow, but the mind is not there. And therefore, prepared mind is required. A mind without bias is required. And we will see in the next class, which is the last class, how can we remove this bias. how do we prepare the mind? And why mind is required? Because any knowledge happens in mind only. Yes or no? Is there any doubt about that? You need to have the mind for the knowledge, and mind should be prepared. And therefore, we will see other factors involved in knowledge. And then last, we will see how that becomes yoga. Jnana yoga, yoga. Okay? We'll end here. Om Purnamada
Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Harihi Om Shri Guru
Yo Namaha
Harihi Om